Hi, Chris Mc Loone here with Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment. I am standing in front of Fire Department Coffee's Rescue One, and I'm with the creator of Rescue One, the guy who kind of put it all together, came up with the concept for it. This is Randy James. He's the Director of Brand Awareness at Fire Department Coffee. He's also a Rockford, Illinois Fire Department firefighter. He's a driver engineer there. So Randy, why don't you just take me through the genesis of this truck? I mean, it's really come a long way from your first conception of it to what it is now.
Yeah, so Fire Department Coffee has been around since 2016. Bunch of firemen in Rockford. Luke Schneider, our CEO and founder, we worked together at Ladder 5 in Rockford. And since the beginning of the company, what we would do is we would see disasters or men and women around the country on certain fire departments in certain cities dealing with things that we wish we could do something. So we would send like a 5-pound bag of coffee with a handwritten note that said, hey, we're watching what you're doing, keep your chins up, you're doing great work. And then it just evolved, and as the company got a little bigger, I just kind of had the idea that would it be a bigger gesture if we sent hands and feet, if we could go serve along them or support them in what they're doing. And so Rescue One had been an idea for several years before I actually pitched it to Rosenbauer as a tool to go out and serve the needs of the communities affected, but also the first responders that are serving. And this is what we've ended up with.
Okay, now for those who, and I can't imagine it's a thing at this point, but for those who might not know much about Fire Department Coffee, talk about the company a little bit.
Yeah, so we're a veteran-owned coffee company that started in Rockford, Illinois. Again, Luke is a Navy veteran, and so he had a passion for coffee, and he used to bring a tabletop roaster and roast at the firehouse. He married a barista. His wife Kate's a barista, so he fell in love with coffee, and he had worked and came up with a roast that we said, you know, if you brought this to the station, I think the guys would buy it. And sure enough, that's the medium roast that kind of built the company. And then we've just grown through our social media with Jason Patton and Firefighter Fenton, and now we're in about 10,000 grocery stores, so all around the country, and everything in Walmart, Albertsons, everything under the Albertsons chain. It's just really been a blessing. We're blessed, and we have support all over the country. So this project gives us a way to get out and give back to those men and women that support us, our brother and sister firefighters. So
perfect. Well, I'm anxious to see all there is to this truck. As I said, it has evolved over time. So, you know, as we go around, Randy's going to talk about kind of where it started out and kind of, you know, what lessons you've learned along the way. So let's go take a look.
So this cabinet here, obviously being a coffee company, we wanted to have some commercial brewers. A lot of the equipment here is stuff I've thought of as a firefighter that I wished I had when we were at scenes. So a couple commercial coffee brewers that are high volume brewers. They're 220 volt. These are like 3,700 watts a piece, so they take a lot of power. So in this cabinet, we have the ability to brew coffee for a large volume of people. Obviously, we have some refrigeration that you see here. If it's a summertime disaster where we're serving people, I can have cold drinks. I can make hot drinks. If you're not a coffee drinker, these hot water spigots produce endless hot water. We actually have some meals that I store up top that we could actually feed people. So we can feed them hot meals just with the water servers that come out of the brewers. The other thing that is in this cabinet is a lot of our technical stuff that we have. So indicator up here for a water tank. I've got an on-demand hot water heater on this truck. So about a 60-gallon tank up top that I can set up a portable shower system. And as we get around the back of the truck, you guys will be able to see that system. And then I also have a washer and dryer on the other side that we'll get over there. But one of the things that I've thought about, you know, in building this out is just bringing the things to people that protect their dignity, that allow them to stay clean, that allow them to have nourishment if that's what they need, clean clothes, dry clothes, towels, a way to clean their clothes if that's what they need. There's a large PTO-driven generator on this truck, so power needs. Because I'm in the Midwest, I've built this out for Midwest storms. So one of those issues that we see a lot is no power, and so if you're on a well, then you don't have any water. So a lot of that equipment is housed in this particular cabinet. As we move around the truck, again, there's those needs for electricity when people don't have power. So we've got the outlets that are hot all the way around the truck when the PTO generator's running. I have power strips on each side of these pull-out shelves. I have a television So my thoughts here were we could broadcast information, emergency information. If somebody's over there mitigating and dealing with this disaster, whatever we have going, I can be the resource where incident command can say, hey, go over there by the fire department coffee guys. They can get you cleaned up. They can get you dry clothes, socks, hats, gloves, sweatshirts, pants. They can get you dry, get you fed. We have the chargers here. So with these chargers, we know that our phones anymore are dead after 6 hours if we don't have power. This is a place I can start charging those phones for people, and then broadcasting the emergency information. If command wants me to put information up here, whether it's phone numbers or local contacts that can offer them help for the things they need, this can be the place where they get that information. If you look up at the top along the truck here, I think you'll see it in some other shots, we have an awning here. So this is another place that I can put this awning out. It's an RV awning. A lot of the products on this truck are stuff off of RVs, whether it's the refrigerators, the washer and dryer, the awning, a lot of stuff that can take the road abuse. As we move back to the corner of the truck here, this is the area we call the pantry. The items that are in this cabinet change depending on whether it's summertime, wintertime, what supplies I might need. Since we're at the convention here at the dealer meeting, I have a lot of stuff for brewing coffee because that's what we're doing. But again, I have another refrigerator. I wanted more refrigerator space so that we could keep, whether it's bottled water, food, drinks, that type of stuff for whatever emergency we're going to. Also in this cabinet is a little portable generator. This is a solar unit. It's a Jackery generator that has solar panels that can be hooked up. You can charge it through 110. It's portable, or you can charge it through the solar power. I have some much bigger generators, electric power plants, as we get around the other side of the truck. As we move to the back of the truck here, because this truck has no pump or no plumbing, I have an 8-foot slide out, just like a normal fire truck. On this shelf, I have the Deployed Logix ASAP 12. It's a rapid deployable emergency shelter. So you'll see these tan shelters used in disasters for setting up field hospitals or any type of that situation. Used very heavily in the fire service and emergency services, and a very, very easy system to use, very user-friendly. DLX donated this shelter and the shower system. At the top of the truck, you'll see the yellow case. That has a decon shower. So with the hot water heater that I have on here, I can actually set that shower up, and we could actually let people get cleaned off, get them in some clean clothes, and then get them back on their way. So as we move to this corner of the truck, this is kind of my electrical cabinet, my power plant, if you will. So I have a lot of electrical needs, like we talked about with the PTO-driven generator, and this is kind of built out for Midwest storms, was my thinking. These are portable power plants by Kraken Power. They're called Instagrids. So they're 110 units. You can charge them up, and you can take these power plants. I could put them in that shelter. I could put them in the DLX shelter. I could power that shelter with heat for people, get them out of the weather. I could have lighting in there. Or actually, a lot of times when we've been deployed to disasters and there's no place for lodging, it's an option for us to sleep in when we're serving people. So I have a couple of those that were donated by Kraken Power, and they also have a charging hub system on here. The charging hub allows me to have a bank of lithium-ion batteries that are up in the front of this truck. You can build that bank to your needs, and I can direct power without the engine running to any cabinet that I might need. So it gives me options of not running a gas generator. And then I have some other electrical components in this truck, or in this cabinet also. So this cabinet over the wheel on the officer side is just kind of our catch-all cabinet. This cabinet will change depending on what we're being deployed to, or what we're deploying to, what the disaster is. So I have some battery saws from steel in here. We have some plastic sheeting that we can button somebody's house up if that's what we need to do. A toolkit, some hoses that we use when we're adding water to the tank up top. So this cabinet will change depending on the need that we have. This cabinet here is the one that houses our RV washer and dryer. So with the water tank up top and the on-demand hot water heater, we can actually do laundry on this truck. When we deployed this truck to Western North Carolina, one of the things we found when we got up in the hills was some of the firefighters had been in the same uniforms for about 4 days. No power, no water. They were out of every clean towel. We were able to roll in, and we did about 10 or 11 loads of laundry right out of the gate, and it was a big relief for them. just to be clean and have clean uniforms, as they've been working nonstop around the clock. So we keep a lot of our other supplies in here, blankets. This will change depending on what time of year it is. Because it's winter in the Midwest, I have a lot of our warm weather stuff. All the coffin boxes up top are filled with gloves, stocking hats, socks, sweatpants, sweatshirts, and then blankets. We have a lot of blankets on here. And then all the hygiene stuff stays in this cabinet, whether it's baby wipes, Band-Aids, and then pet supplies. One of the things that what people don't think about is what to do with animals when there's a natural disaster or people have lost their homes. What do we do with our pets? And one of the things that's really handy is just having leashes, because people end up just holding their pets by their collars, have dog food and cat food, so we can meet that initial need that they might have for their pets.
Well, Randy, thanks a lot for taking me around the truck. I've seen it a number of times. I know it's been in service for a while. It's been at FDIC, but usually I'm so busy at FDIC running all around, I've never actually been able to get a good look at it. And you know, everything that you just talked about, all the capabilities of this truck, all the functions of this truck are really impressive when it comes to the responses that it makes. But I think in talking with you today and in what you in your presentation earlier, I think its most important function is about preserving people's dignity. So just talk a little bit about that.
It is. I leaned on a lot of the people that deal with emergency response and management about the things that they wish they had at scenes, and then have taken the things that you and I as firefighters wish we would have had and tried to put them in a truck. And at the end of the day, when people lose their basic needs, their needs stay basic. And a lot of the things on this truck are really basic things that we just haven't put on fire apparatus before. And so it's a really dynamic package, but the things here are really just to offer comfort to people when they're dealing with their worst.
Well, again, my thanks to you for taking some time out. This has been a busy week for me and Randy here at the Rosenbauer dealer meeting. So again, my thanks to you, but not only for doing this, but everything that you are doing when you're responding across the country. Of course, we have the two most recent ones that we've had, but I mean, we know that, you know, you were just talking about it the other day, Tornado Alley, that alley is changing direction a little bit. So we know that this truck is unfortunately going to be pressed into service again, but fortunately is there to help preserve people's dignity. So again, this has been Chris Mc Loone with Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment, together with Randy James of Fire Department Coffee. Have a good one and stay safe. And thanks again, Randy.
You're welcome. Thank you.